Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, and we have a new guest. This is Kay.
Hello.
And as you've seen in the thumbnail and description, we're talking about the Hunger Games Catching Fire. So before we dive into the nitty gritty, how did you become a fan of the Hunger Games in general?
Oh God, I started like most kids. It's like I started with the book. Yeah. And it came out like 2008. But I read it like when I was a little older.
Okay.
11 years old. Yeah. And I really loved the books. So I was like super excited when the movies came out.
Okay.
What year did they come out? Like a few years later, no?
Yeah, like 2012.
Yeah.
Early in the 2010s.
Yeah. I was like excited.
Cool. Alright. I have to admit, I wasn't the biggest fans of the movies when they came out because I was like,
Only do.
yeah, they had a label of like young adult, so I was like, I rather watch Avengers or like a Batman movie. Young adult didn't sit well with me.
No, I get.
Yeah.
No, I didn't enjoy it also. I was not a fan of the movies because, I was really into like fan art, and back then, like the beauty standards of people were just gonna sound so bad. So just like were
Different.
what am I picturing it? Yeah. And I was like into anime, so it's like skinny, stereotypically handsome man. So that's what I was picturing for some of the characters. And then when I watched the movie, and for Pita, I get Josh Hutcherson. I love you, Josh, right now. I've matured. I've grown. Yeah, so I love him now, right? But before, I was like, he's not cute. I don't like it, And there's also like, who is it? Liam Hemsworth as Gale.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Gale. But I did also picture him as a stereotypically handsome man. Then,
Yeah.
not to say Josh Hutcherson and
Liam Hemsworth.
Liam, sorry. Not to say Josh Hutcherson and Liam was not stereotypically handsome. It wasn't my type.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. So it was like, what the fuck? Can I curse?
Yeah, of course. This is
Okay.
I love the fact I like it that I guess as thank you, but that's fine.
I forgot to ask before.
Thank you. Wow, that's the first time anyone's asked me that, but I appreciate it. So prim and proper, it's cool. But yeah. Growing up, like since I got exposed to more movies, like I could appreciate the sci-fi dystopia themes this one had. Like we're on record saying like the first one's not the greatest, but like I like the themes. Yeah.
The plot was pretty good.
Yeah.
Of course, I love the books. Of course, the plot is good, and some of the executions of like the set, like they're pretty good. Like the architecture of like the Capitol.
Yeah.
Movie, like when they come in their little parade thing.
Yeah,
so,
the chariots.
Yeah. So like you compare it to like the other district, like how the other districts look.
Yeah.
And like 11, 12, it's like poor, like not. And then when you go to like the Capitol and you see it, and it's just this brutalist structures, which is like imposing, and it's like, look at all this money we have.
Yeah.
Like, you don't. Yeah, and it's like it does show the power then of the capital towards the rest of the districts. So like this set is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I like the clothes also. I like how fucking ugly the capital clothes are.
Yeah. Like all this decadence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it's so. Yeah, it's so pretty. Like it's so peacocky.
Yeah.
Like it's like super peacock vibes.
Yes.
But it's so fucking ugly, and it really, like you can really tell how fucking like
grandiose it is. It's like
attention.
it's like Rome, but like in a sci-fi dystopia setting. And you're like, oh, I get the message. Like when Katniss and Peter are on their like propaganda tour, and you see the difference, the disparaging differences between the capital and the other districts, especially that one. I forgot where Rue was from, but like her district, and you see it.
It's like you see the clothes of the other districts, and even like in the when they do their interviews,
Yeah.
right? You can tell like who's a rich district,
Yeah.
and who's not. And then
Yeah.
you look at like the capital with their stupid ass eyelashes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so like what you said, grandiose. No, it's sickening.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene then, well, during their tour, Katniss and Pita's tour,
Yeah.
where Pita says something like, "Oh, I can't take a bite. I can't take a nut of this buffet thing."
Yeah.
And then, like, they give him a drink, and he's like, "What's this?" And they're like, "It's for, parang it makes you sick, so you'll throw up, so you can taste everything." And
Yeah.
that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, throw up, like, oh, I need to throw up so I can eat the rest of the food that we have. When kids and families in like other districts are throwing up because they haven't had food
For days.
for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, what the?
Yeah.
And to say that to like someone from District 12 too, like, Christ, the
Yeah.
like cognitive dissonance between the capital and the rest of the fucking world or rest of the fucking Panem.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it is quite toned up for the rest of them to say that. And like I
Yeah.
do like how intimidating like the main cast of bad guys are. Like Snow is quite intimidating for like a old guy who is so unassuming. You're like, like any other movie, you're like, what's this old guy going to do? But you see how much control he has. Same with Plutarch, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's pretty good as this
Rest in
guy.
peace.
Yeah, rest in
Yeah,
peace. Both of them. I'm like, oh man.
Well, both of them.
Yeah.
King. Honestly, I don't see President Snow as like the actor sorry, I don't know their names. The actor for Snow.
Oh, Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rip. um, yeah, like I don't see Snow or like any other actor as Snow. Like if you see him, like he was also in Pride and Prejudice. And
Yeah.
all I could think of is like Snow.
Yeah.
You know, he fits the like vibe. Then, like in other movies, he would be this unassuming grandpa. Right?
Yeah.
But in this movie, like in their room, like that one scene where he talks to Katniss in her house.
Yeah.
Or I'd piss myself. Like if I walk in the room and Snow is there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he has this aura. Na parang it's like weaponized kindness, kind of, or weaponized civility or something.
Yeah, he's just like, you know what
yeah.
role you have to play, right? And she's like,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's like it's super. I don't know. It's like every time you walk in a room with him, he has this aura of like, you sneeze the wrong way, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know how people like. I don't know how Katniss like didn't throw up after he talked.
Exactly.
She talked with.
Like you.
No, the.
You see how much like control they have with like fear. Like when they start like rounding people up and whipping them, I'm just like, it's funny watching these movies now and seeing everything we've been through on the news. You're like, oh, okay, I see clearly now.
Yeah, yeah. You can see how like people use like how easy it is to use fear to manipulate people.
Yeah.
And how easy it is to portray it on movies also.
Yeah.
And it's like that whole plan Plutarch had about fear. It's so scary. Like how could they like look at a human being and be like, oh yeah, let's whip him. Let's instill fear into their hearts. Like I don't know. It's just so scary. Like spoiler, he's like a good guy. Like
yeah, I mean this movie's like 11 years old, so it's okay.
Yeah, maybe 8.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just in case, you know. But he turns out to be like a good guy. But like,
yeah,
this is like, it's like, do the ends justify the means?
Yeah.
And like if that's how you, like I don't know. Like I wouldn't know what to do also in a situation like that.
Yeah, that whole speech he has about using Katniss as a weapon, like every time they see her on TV, like it's like executions and whippings will also be shown. Her name will be associated with that.
Yeah, and she's 17 in this movie. Like her character is 17.
Yeah.
That's like it's like big adult problems like dropped onto like a shoulder of a fucking child. Her
Yeah.
frontal lobe hasn't developed. What the fuck would she
Right.
like? She shouldn't be. She shouldn't be bearing that thing, like that symbol, just because she's like a little rebellious. They're like
Yeah. We have to.
her.
Yeah. She's the cause
Like
of
I
all
don't
your
know.
pain, and you're like, oh damn. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I do love the fact that once they announce that they have a basically an all-star return of the Hunger Games, everybody's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Why?"
I'm glad like they had that whole scene with the hand holding because it's like even if the districts kind of like hate each other or like there's you don't hate each other but like there's a difference talaga
Yeah.
between districts. They understand, like especially the victors, like their lived experience of the games, and they all kind of like understood that they don't they don't want to do it again. And
Yeah.
it's fucked up. Other
Oh wait, hold up.
12 seconds later.
You're saying it's fucked up?
It's fucked up. It's fucked up that it's fucked up that other people had to do it too.
Yeah.
Like, set your differences aside. Like, we don't need to be in there. Like,
Exactly. Though I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
say watching this now, I didn't realize how star-studded this all-star cast is. I was like, oh, that's Sam Claflin from like Peaky Blinders. Yeah. There's also the guy who's now
Blinder?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know actors in a. I didn't know he was in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. They also have Commissioner Gordon
Google that
from
one.
The Batman with Rob Pattinson.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
or
like,
BT.
yeah. I was like, I didn't
yeah.
realize how star-studded
I
this
didn't
cast
realize
is.
it also.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never well, I'm not very actor
Yeah.
knowledgeable of actors. It's just face, character name. That's all it is in my head.
Yeah. Well, going
Yeah,
back to poor Katniss and the trauma inflicted on her, like when they beat poor, oh, I forgot her fashion designer's name, but when they beat him before the game
Inal,
start,
yeah.
yeah, I was like, well, that's
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up. Christ.
Oh yeah, but like, yeah. I remember reading that in the book. And I was like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? They went, huh?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And you know how books have those like, I'm not sure if this is accurate, but you know how those books have like those page breaks
Yeah.
for major arcs of the book, and I think one of the like the page after them like beating the shit out of Cinna in the book, it's like a blank page, which is a page break. And I'm
Yeah.
like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean that's the end? Huh? yeah.
Like, well,
I gotta
why?
say, though, like, yeah. I gotta say though, like after the scene where they beat up Cinna, they do this like cool, like super cool thing with the aspect change.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that for the first time, not in cinemas. Well, I don't remember if I watched it in cinemas, but I remember watching it the first time, and I'm like, I didn't even notice it at first. I was like, something changed.
Yeah.
But rewatching it, it's like you can see like for the first half of the movie, they're being like in this little confined space. So the aspect ratio is like the black strips on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
Right. And then when Katniss goes up the tube, right, and the aspect ratio like
Changes.
widens, you can really see like yeah. It's like they're not confined anymore. They're in this like wide ass space, and they have the freedom to like kill the fuck out of everybody, you know. And it's just so cool. Yeah, it's just a cool scene with the like the
Yeah.
music plus the aspect ratio change. It's like wow,
Yeah.
wow, this is cinema.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the actor's pretty cool too. Like when the Peaky Blinders dude saves Katniss by like making one guy eat an axe. And I'm like, wow, I forget how brutal
Yeah.
this is. Like,
Yeah, they have like no business being like a young adult.
right?
Like this shouldn't be for 13-year-olds. Like what the
Yeah.
hell? Yeah, because it was definitely in the higher age. Yung parang you're graduating from young adult
Yeah.
type of age na. And I mean I knew when I was a kid that this was like based off of Battle Royale. Like
Yeah.
The Japanese one, I have not watched, but I know that's brutal.
Yeah, it
I
has a
watched
reputation. Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. No business whatsoever, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool cinema, even though it is fucked up when you think hard about it. You're like, yeah, these people who used to compete when they were like Katniss's age are competing again, and they probably still have PTSD.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these poor
Honestly.
souls. Yeah.
Like Katniss just came out of
Yeah.
the fucking. It's like a year. Like
Yeah.
she's still waking up screaming, and then you're gonna put her back. It did like I wouldn't say radicalize, but like it did help like the generation, like my generation now, like recognize what looks like abuse
Yeah.
of power. I feel like for me, if I didn't watch Hunger Games or wasn't into Hunger Games, like I wouldn't know why these kinds of politics would be bad or something.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
you would recognize, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good that it's in the age range it is, but yeah, it's still kind of like whoa,
Yeah.
yeah.
Watching it now, I'm just like, oh, there's so many themes that went over my head. All right.
I know. Yeah, rewatching it, I was like, whoa, I had no business like watching this. I didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
I was like focused on the romance aspect
Yeah.
of it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's what
Now it's like,
turned me off
Yeah.
about it in the beginning, but like going back to it and being like, you know what, I think there's something more here. But yeah, it is out of place. But at the same time, like I guess you have to bring in the target audience something to watch.
yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, you have to like hook them into
Yeah.
something. So, yeah.
Do like that mechanic where every hour a new challenge happens. Like at that point, you're like, are you fucking kidding me? As if people
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to kill me aren't enough.
Yeah. No, when I was watching it with friends, we're like, I'm dying right away. If I'm like a tribute,
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
yeah. And like I was like, we were thinking like which hour we would die in. To be fair, I would die in all, in the get go, in the cornucopia.
Yeah.
But if I had a specific one, which I will not survive, I think it's the monkeys because I don't think I even have like I don't have the battle skills, the combat. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they're running after me. They're killing me.
I think I'd
know?
accidentally run into a force field like poor Pita. I'd be like, I can't tell what's the difference.
You know what? Me too. Honestly, I'd be
Yeah.
like, I need to go.
Yeah.
I need to go, and then I'll kill myself. yeah. By accident. In conclusion, we're dead. Sorry, whatever districts we're in.
Yeah.
I'm the first cannon in this fucking game.
Yeah, exactly. In the book, did you feel that it was earned that Plutarch suddenly is like, you know what, I am part of the rebellion? Or like, he was part of the rebellion this entire time?
I remember when I read it, I was like, really? Like, not like really like it's a cheap trick type of in the book, but it's like a, should you really trust this guy?
Right.
This guy's kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
he could say he's part of the rebellion, but then he'll like double cross it.
Yeah,
you
he has
know?
that
Like,
vibe.
Yeah, like a save my ass type of vibe. Like if the rebellion's dying,
Yeah.
he'll defect to the capital. So like as a kid and even now, even though I know like how it ends, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't trust this bitch. I don't trust him.
Full transparency to you and to the audience, I've never finished this series, so I'm like, I have no idea how this ends. I forget how.
Like Hunger Games?
Yeah. I forget how, like, what do you call that? Like, how much the ending draws me in to, like, I should watch the other ones.
Yeah, the way Catching Fire ended was pretty good too, because
Yeah.
it's like the way they did it. It's like, okay, to quote one of my friends, it was like after the movie and the time between the movie Catching Fire and the Mockingjay Part 1. It's like it was like I had to hold in my shit for that long until the next movie. It's like my shit's about to come out, but then they're like, no, next movie. So you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, unlike you guys, I was like, you know what? I think I'm good at the time. But, like, now I'm like, I should finish it. Like, for the sake of completing
Yeah.
this series.
Yeah.
Though I hear, like, the romance gets too heavy-handed, so I'm debating whether I
I
should.
would say, yeah. I wouldn't say heavy for me. I wouldn't say heavy-handed. It does focus more on Pita and Katniss, but that's because Katniss's motivation during that time is mostly Pita.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because like in the end of the movie, right? They both don't get saved.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, Peter
not,
does.
huh?
Peter doesn't get saved.
No, Pita doesn't get saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Katniss is just like, you told me you'd save him, you know?
Yeah.
So the motivation for like the next movie is like mostly centered around Pita. Well, there's also the rebellion, right?
Yeah.
But of course, you can't really like not mix in your personal motivations then, because you're 17. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so it's like it's not heavy-handed like they make out or whatever, or like yeah, but her motivations are mostly Pita.
Okay.
I could see why it's like heavy-handed, but yeah.
Yeah. Anything to add before we wrap this up?
I would say it's a good movie. Y'all should watch.
Oh, definitely.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie to rewatch as you get older also.
Yeah.
Because it's like you see scenes in different ways, and like rewatching it also, it was like because they cut off some scenes. Like for example, when Mags died in the book, it was very clear visual. Like Katniss could see her like stop walking, fall down, and then die.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't show that in the movie, which I feel like it doesn't add to like the brutality, you know. So it's like I get that they had to like keep it 13 R13 PG-13.
Yeah. I was about to say I think they were like
yeah
stopped by their rating.
censored.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can throw an axe into a guy's face but not show Mags die.
Sure.
No, but like yeah, but like there's some scenes that like I feel like they cut out. Like it made some relationships seem random. So for example, I would have liked seeing that scene because in the book, Pita and Katniss have like a day off from like training and stuff before the games, so they have this little picnic together.
Oh.
And it just shows us, yeah, they have a picnic, and that shows us like their relationship with each other, because it's like fake nung sa start, diba?
Yeah.
First half of the movie, right? And then we see these like little mundane scenes, and like you just get reminded that they're fucking 17-year-olds in this fucking hellhole, and you can see like they are close, and you can see like she does care about him, but they took that out, so it does seem kind of random that suddenly, oh my god, you know, like she super cares about Pita. It does seem a little random.
Yeah.
There's also a scene like when he gives the pearl to Katniss, and they make out, right? If I remember correctly, they do make out, and then Finnick like interrupts them by accident, and is like, "Oh, am I doing something?" And it's like an awkward, like funny thing, and yeah, it just reminds you that they're kids, and it's like a scene that seems like super chill, and you can see like the relationship or how Finnick sees the two of them.
Okay.
And it makes their relationship less random than it did in the movie. But I'm just kind of sad it was cut off. But yeah. So this movie is definitely a must-watch when you get older. Because like what you mentioned, like some things like
fly overhead. And now you watch it now. After like seeing multiple headlines in the news, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what would you rate Catching Fire, the movie?
Out of?
We usually do it out of 10.
I'd say an 8.
An 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty good movie. The set was good. The actors.
Yeah.
They're good now to me. Josh Hutcherson, you're perfect, Pita. I love you. But yeah, the actors, I don't see anyone else being Katniss. I don't see anyone else being Pita, you know.
Oh, definitely.
So they're pretty good then, yeah. And the way they did the story, even though they did cut out some scenes, it's pretty good. Yeah.
All right. I shall give this an 8 out of 10 as well. It like I agree that the actors are great. Like I don't have the like I see them differently from the book. I just came in being like I should rewatch these.
Have you read the book before?
Read books? No, I'm kidding. No, never.
Do I read books?
I mean, to be fair, I've been trying to read books like later on in life, but not Hunger Games yet.
Yeah. I should. Okay, I don't know if because I haven't read it since I was a kid, so I don't know if it still like holds up to my standards.
But yeah, everything was pretty good. Like I don't really have a complaint. It's like give it something below 8. Why? But yeah, I do enjoy the story and like how it like opens itself up to like more stories. But yeah, I agree with you. It definitely is. It definitely helps that you watch it like with new perspective of like just life and the world in general. So I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, but yeah, to the audience watching, what's your favorite entry into this franchise? I guess. Have you seen the prequel from like last year?
I did. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I liked it. It just gave like it is a prequel, so it did give a different vibe from Hunger Games.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? You don't see the imposing capital yet. You do see imposing like figures.
Yeah.
But they're not as scary as the capital before.
Yeah.
know? So it's like it's a weird thing, and it's like it does give you like empathy, like or sympathy. I don't know. It makes you feel bad a little for Snow, and then you remember what the fuck in the movies and in the original series, and you're like,
you're like you know what, you deserve what you get. I think there's like a new Hunger Games book and movie sometime in the future.
Yeah. It's Mags. From if I'm recalling correctly, it's Mags's Hunger Games.
Oh.
So we get to see Mags in her prime. So I think
All right.
I'm excited actually.
Alright, but yeah, that's been our video on Catching Fire. What do you guys think? If you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. Help us reach our next milestone, which is 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, if you want to see more of us, we're also on TikTok and Spotify. You can hear us on the go. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Like you'll see some stuff in this video on TikTok. And our reactions to the latest of trailers. In the video Zoda's voices on TikTok and Anne's Wolf on Letterboxd. Do you want to plug yourself in?
I have nothing to plug. Watch the GMG.
Alright. Until the next video, hopefully Kate will be in a couple of other videos too. But
I'd love to.
Yay. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye everybody.
Bye bye.